Welcome back into the Enrichment Sports Source. This segment of the show brought to you by Madisonville Marine. As always, Steve Sloan, Joe Special, and the folks down there, everybody wants to wish you a happy holiday season. Right now, they're excited because 2014 models continue to roll in from G3 Skeeters, Sweetwater pontoons, Hurricane deck boats, Bullet bass boats, Polar Craft aluminum boats, all in stock. Plus, Madisonville Marine is now your Knoxville area dealer for Stingray runabouts. Stingray runabouts. That doesn't look that hard to say, but try it on live TV. Madisonville Marine. You can check them out at madmarine.com, or you can get down there and see for yourself. They have an incredible selection of boats, and with Stingray, it's just getting bigger. All right. Very quickly, guys, I'm going to save a little time for Mark to talk about NC State. But very quickly, Cuonzo Martin's an extremely laid-back guy. Chuck and I were talking the other day. Has he had a technical since he's been at UT?
I thought there had been one, but somebody said that they did not think he had had one.
But see, the fact that we're having to debate whether or not he's had one. So my question is, and look, it's being discussed. That's why we're throwing it out here. Mark Richt is a laid-back guy, and he's won plenty of games. Bobby Knight was insane, and he won plenty of games. You can win a lot of different ways, but because it's the topic of conversation, is Cuonzo Martin too laid back? Does that adversely affect this team?
Because he is losing or not winning at the level people want him to win, the perception is that he's too laid back. If he was winning, if they had gone to back-to-back NCAA tournaments, me and you have talked about this, my guy, Leslie Frazier, if he was winning up in Minnesota, his laid backness is like, he's just like Bud Grant.
He's just calm and cool as
But
ice.
because they're losing, he can't get them fired up. So can it have an impact? I think it can on players, but I don't think it is.
I get the impression he's harder on them in practice than he is games, or more vocal or tougher in practice than games. Mark, you know that better than I do because I don't get to watch much practice, but I think at games he's more laid back. And when I see him get excited is when they force a shot clock violation. That's when he seems to be more excited than a dunk or a three-point shot.
I think he has too much respect for the officials. I mean, at the Tennessee Tech game, we're sitting right behind the bench with Creed Daniel, and there was a bad call at the end.
Always got to drop somebody's name
There
in
was
here.
a bad call at the other end of the
Creed.
court. Cuonzo turns to an assistant coach and said, "Coach, why did they make that call? That was a terrible call, Coach. Why did they make that call?" Never did he say that to any member of the officiating crew. It's like he doesn't have hardly any interaction. You may not get that call, but you see the good coaches trying to get the next one.
Well,
Mark.
What Creed had to say about it?
Yeah, what Creed said.
Oh, Creed said it's a terrible call.
Well, he had breakfast this morning. Joe Schmidt laughed.
well, back to Jimmy's point about the coaching in practice as opposed to the game type. Coach does coach more in practice because most of your work, if you're still coaching a ton on your kids with all the other pressures that are going on when the lights are on, that's just another element, another voice for them. Most of your coaching, I believe, should be done in practice, and that is what he does. If you were to ask each one of those players, is coach intense? To a man, each one of those kids would say, most definitely. There's a different, he might not be vocal because he doesn't make it about him, but when the kids come back to the bench, he's in their ear letting them know what he expects.
The bottom line is this. If your team loses, fans are yelling at the TV screens. They want to see the coach yelling. I'm that way when I watch my pro teams. I sit there and it's like, get up, scream. I got Brad Stevens coaching the Celtics now. They have to check his pulse, but he's doing a good job. So you can win that way. It's just fans want the coach to act the way they feel, and I think it frustrates some of them that Cuonzo Martin is more calm, cool, and collected. NC State this week. That's a Wednesday night game for Tennessee. We'll talk about in the next segment, too, if this is a must-win. I think it is. I want you to tell us what Tennessee should be prepared for with this NC State team. RPI-wise, they're only about 150, so it's not going to help you on the RPI scale as they stand right now. But this is a dangerous team. Your thoughts on NC State?
Considering all that they had last year, they're pretty inexperienced. They lost about 5 of their top 7 guys. T.J. Warren's one of the top 5 scorers in the country. Plays a 3 of the 4 position. Can't really shoot it. They'll face some zone, which is a big area an area that we can improve upon. They also have the kid that transferred from LSU, Alston, who last night had 17 points. They do have one bad loss. They lost to NC Central at home, and they've lost at Cincinnati. This will only be their second true road game. So inexperience on the road, younger team just even from playing. I think this is a game that will come away with a win.
How tall are they? Since that seems to be the new.
They're not. They don't have a true center like we were talking about. There's more of a tweener 3-4 and then a 6'10" center.
Well, then there's a victory for Tennessee. Okay.
You should carve them up like a Christmas turkey.
Very good. Wow, now the pressure's on. All right. Says Creed Daniel. All right. I want to remind people, Creed included, next week, we've been on for 11 years. 10 of those years, since 2004, we've had our own fun Christmas show. Next week, it's the 10th annual Christmas Spectacular. Right here, we will have an all-Christmas feel, all Christmas questions. Should be a lot of fun next Sunday, right here, 11 o'clock on the Sports Source. Join us for our 10th annual Christmas Spectacular. When we come back, are UT's NCAA tournament chances donezo or getting there? We'll discuss. Come on back.